Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to start with the daily chart because I want to go over kind of the big picture resistance, the ceiling sellable resistance in the upper 280s, 288.05 to 289.81, that if tested, and it has yet to be tested, can absorb buying, not only for the week. It's a great short play for day traders, 3 to 5 day swing traders, but even 3 to 5 week swing traders who may anticipate bearish rotation into later May following a test of the upper 280s. The low 160s and mid 150s would be in reach within about 3 to 5 weeks, and that is a much more significant support level than the upper 280s is resistance. 155.86 to 161.97 on the weekly chart goes back, it's a 5-year channel structure, 4-year anyway, if you go back to this November 21 high, and I like to include trade that preceded it. So 4 or 5-year channel bottom at 155.86 to 161.97, able to contain annual lows. And from here, we can come off of it nicely as we move into later year. Inversely, if over the next week or two, we settle above 289.81, no good reason to be short Tesla. As we move through the month of May, I would expect within 3 to 5 weeks of closing above 289.81, the 388.14 descending 2/3 speed line. When you settle above a descending 1/3 speed line, the descending 2/3 speed line becomes your objective. In this case, I would guess within about 3 to 5 weeks. Before I jump into today, I just want to mention that on Tuesday, wickedstocks.com put out 2 stock picks. It's a short week, but we thought we'd do 2 stock picks this week, Motorola and Dutch Brothers. A lot of these stocks, not the tech stocks necessarily, but a lot of the stocks that were dragged south with the big sell-off over the last few weeks are setting up these descending flags, these descending channels at the top of a move. And both Motorola and Dutch Brothers are inside that flag, but approaching the top of that flag. And if we close just a little bit higher in both cases, we've got meaningful, actionable buy signals in both. And so we present these to you. You can see them for free going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. You also see last week's stock picks. And I forget offhand again what those were. My apologies. And those are still relevant. And you'll see the stock picks for next week as well. So take advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll also see daily Triple Q, daily SPY, weekly Apple stock analysis, etc., all for free for 5 days. And you just might stick around longer than that once you see all the great stuff that we provide our subscribers on a daily basis. So let's jump into the day itself. I can actually continue using this chart. 237.34 is a downside 5/8 Fibonacci over the last full week of extremes, a week and a half or so. We can bottom out there on an intraday, possibly daily basis. We've seen a collapse in volatility, and the question is, when will that open up again? We may trade very quietly here for the next few weeks. Who knows? If we close today below 237.34, then I would expect within 3 to 5 days, perhaps, I would imagine a spike in volatility. If we were to close below the 237.34 level, I would imagine a spike in volatility that would allow 199.83. We actually should have both of those shown on this chart. So if we close below 237.34, 199.83, our next 3 to 5 day target. So I'm going to spell that out one more time for you 3 to 5 day swing traders. If we close below 237.34, play the short side through the rest of the week and into next, and take your profits at the 199.83 formation, where we could actually bottom out for a day, possibly a week, and turn back up. Closing below 199.83 would be our next secondary sell signal, and that should, within a week or two, result in what is an objective at 161.97. 161.97 is, once again on the weekly chart, the start of a wide zone down to 155.86 that can contain annual lows. If you are short Tesla, when we approach that 155, 161 handle support, that is the area to not only take profits, but to consider reverse in and going long. So let's talk upside today. I gave you the downside here, 237.34. Your upside is really just a simple trend line at 267.84 that combs across the highs over the last 3 weeks or so. It can contain intraday highs. You know, I'm keeping them intraday right now because I'm still sort of affected, if you will, by the high volatility that played out just a week ago. But that has collapsed a lot. And so the truth is, 237.34 could be considered a session containment level. I'm not enticing you into going long there. I'm just saying that might be as far south as we go today, and 267.84 as far north as we might go today. Both are able to contain solid intraday activity. And if we close today above 267.84, that should, within several days, result in a test of the 288.05 to 289.81 area, where we can top out once again through the entire month of May. So if you are long, and I will say, 3 to 5 day swing traders could go long with a settlement today above 267.84. It'd be worth about a 20-point move to the upside within a few days, 288.05, 89.81, then likely over that time frame where we could top out through the month of May and fall away, as I've said, into the lower 160s, mid 150s by the end of May. If we do close above 289.81 in the next week or two, once again, I know I'm repeating myself, no good reason to be short Tesla as we move through May. The following 3 to 5 weeks, you want to be long. If we close above 289.81, you might reach for 380, 370 strike out of the money calls that don't expire I'd go a couple of months out on that. But there's so many opportunities in options. That's actually the title of a famous options book, as I recall. Larry McMullen, I believe, from the 1980s. And so there are a lot of there's a lot of creative ways you can go about with options, and I'm always kind of giving you just the basic broad brushstroke. I could go into spreads and time horizons and decay values and short-term versus long-term options that expire in a day, options that expire in 6 months. But there's just so much time that we have here, and I don't want to take up too much of it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. I will be back tomorrow, of course, with Thursday's Tesla report. You have a great day.